Jesus Christ the King. Air. Right. Turn on my Facebook page to see comments and on this very strange app. We get wow. Anyhow. Week 9. I've been forgetting the part of myself that is a singer. Oh. And technology just decided that I'm writing a guitar song. No, I can figure this out. I don't want to write a guitar song. I've written too many guitar songs, damn it. They're all peppy and happy, and I don't know. I could do that today maybe, but I don't want to do a guitar song. It really helps if you plug in the remaining extension chords. I'm just going to let you know, sir, for technical how-to on songwriting. Plug stuff in, it works better. Yay, it's alive. Okay, yeah. So this is this. Everybody, the usual people I know who would be watching this are like away on July 4th activities, and my partner and accompanist and co-songwriter is on their way back from the far norths of Denver. Love that frame. Shows what a terribly riveting show I do. Just nothing. It's like life. All right, cool. So I was thinking, in the vein of trying to give myself prompts so I don't freak out during this show, I'm just gonna play a little while. I'm just gonna actually just fuck up, just zip it, and try to be not quite so neurotic and just play some stuff and let this happen organically, as is the intent of the show. But let's see what happens. Okay, that's distracting AF. I'm just saying. It's super distracting. Be a professional, damn it. Okay. know. I'm intimidated because it feels like there could be something really pretty over this. So the last 3 weeks, this show has been Black Lives Matter, and I actually haven't delivered on last week's piece yet because it's amazingly complicated to perform, and I'm really proud of it. And Casey and I are going to get the final. We might just go straight to something fancy like a music video with it. But I gave myself license coming on here to just do a fluff piece. Excuse me while I itch myself like I got mange. I'm not ruling it out in this weird dog farm, but I do know the mosquitoes have loved my watering habits. So I don't know if I can do that though. I don't know as a creator how to fit in a fluff piece right now. And I'm scared of getting into a little rabbit hole where I way overthink like everything if I try to write another piece. That's why I had Casey here last week to try to write one solo. So let's try something different. I work to melody by default a lot on this show. Meaning I usually try to write myself something and then go to one of my specialties, which is just lyrics. And the way I get lyrics is if it's somebody else's thing, if you want me to write lyrics to your song, I'll just listen to it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until it talks to me. Until it's like, obviously, this is what this song's about. This is the narrative of it, and this is how all the words fit. So that's why I have noticed in myself this great big tendency lately to want to just lean on that. But let's do something else instead. I'm going to do one of the harder things that I can contemplate doing as an artist, right? Okay, it's going to be a good day at the office. Just pushing self-boundaries. Oh, somebody here. Hi, Will. Classical education is funny, and it like growing up in it since you were 3, you do all sorts of funny backflips to get away from it and make it fresh to yourself. And I didn't even go through proper classical tutelage. Like they found out that I was leading bands at SC, so they like made me take a year one-on-one with a jazz instructor. It was just it was so funny. Like the way we annoyed the hell out of each other. It was a pretty great teaching exchange. What you charge the what? Oh, do I charge? Well, hell yeah, girl, gotta eat. And if you want to like just have my full attention as a coach, you're gonna get my full attention as a coach like a laser. It's made it a little more difficult with COVID though. So, yeah. I don't know if that's what you were talking about. How much to get you to sing my song with lyrics? Like to write lyrics fresh or to just sing the song? Because those are 2 different gigs. The like songwriting, assuming it's personal use, I have a $90 flat fee for generally, although I need to reevaluate how that works outside the world of Fiverr, for either just writing your melody or just writing your lyrics. It's a different fee if you just want me to write your song, and it's a different fee if you just want me to just put vocals on top of your song. I don't know if that answers your question, but we should talk, Will. Water is good water. So that was a lovely distraction. That pulled me off the pit of this thing that secretly, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but isn't that great theater? I'm going to free write out loud, which is about the most unnatural thing I could think to do as an artist, because free writing is specifically to give yourself a page that no one's going to judge. So this is going to be a experience on, I'm going to try to stream of consciousness stuff and act like there's no one in front of me to judge me. So there's hardly, this will be online for like ever, but who cares about it? Okay. I'm going to let myself quiet. I'm just going to leave a few, like 30 seconds of just fascinating footage of just me staring into space while smoking. Documentary footage, really. The hottest walk. Okay, good. DM me, please. I would really love to sing for you. That would be a whole lot of fun. No kidding. It's my favorite thing because I just get to go and play with somebody else's finished work. I'm avoiding procrastinating into it. Okay, dead air. Sometimes I'm afraid I have no voice. It's true. I'm going to write down it's true. And I write it down to scare myself to truth. It's really interesting what comes out when you even just take down the notch on the filter by about that much. Okay, so now I'm going to turn on the lyrics part of my brain. Sometimes all you need, I talk about song DNA a lot, of if you give me a couple of bars of a melody, that's song DNA. If you give me a couple of lyrics, that's song DNA. If you put them together, that tells me how the whole song should flower and bloom. So sometimes I'm afraid I have no voice. It's true, and I write it down just to scare myself to truth. Well, that sucks actually now that I read it back, but let's keep working on it. To see what I can do. Just going for cheap rhymes right now. Although I need to take myself out of that mindset where anything has to rhyme. I really like lyrics that are just, this is the way stuff is. So challenging myself. Sometimes I'm afraid this is why we write stuff down, so you can just see where you just were. How to not get lost, remember where you just were. Sometimes I'm afraid I have no voice, it's true, and I write it down to scare myself to see what I can do. Okay, let's just, I said no filter. Fuck. To shake myself from who I am, the experiences I never had, my reference for a good day from a bad. Got a flow? For a good day from a bad. Well, this is actually, I've been talking about doing this exercise for this show for a while, starting from lyrics, and this isn't actually sucking on my psyche too hard, which is lovely. My most recent one was, that's a good one. I keep telling myself I'm working on something called Little Pocket of Okay. It's something that's like a no pressure composition. I just pick at it myself. It's like this nursery rhyme I sing to myself. A little pocket of okay is all I need to seize the day. A little pocket of okay. I'll find a way, I'll find a way. It's one of those things where, to me, it's pretty toothless, but that's why it's just for me, and someday I'll finish it and it'll be for other people. Yeah, it's the thing you tell yourself right now. I don't know if that's like submitted for the group, so I'm gonna stay away from that, but I'm gonna throw in some sympathetic vibes into this piece. Sometimes I'm afraid I have my voice are true, and I write it down to tell myself what I can do to shake myself from who I am, the experiences I never had, my references for good and bad. Okay, sorry, I turned on my editor brain too soon. You saw that thought moment. I love NLP. NLP is fascinating, especially in the age of everything being on video. So you saw that thought moment of happen of, oh, I'm going to judge myself right now, because that's so helpful when you're just trying to get stuff down. But I am going to have to shake myself from who I am, the experiences I never had, my references for good and bad. And that's a different kind of thought moment. That's staring out the window, trying to figure out, conjure something in front of my brain for, I feel something. So that's one way you can write lyrics is you can, lyrics just like music will set you up for a feeling, right? It'll be like, here's your background, and it'll manipulate you because, all art is kind of this abusive relationship where we're manipulating trauma within you, conjuring it so that we can ease the tension or not. Trying to figure out where does that feeling lead. And the thoughts that are in my head right now are something like, this is definitely touching on everything is circling around TikTok for me right now, where I am addressing people who probably would not listen to somebody who is tanner than me. And I'm taking advantage of the fact that I have that 15 seconds of their attention span to say things. And at the end of the day, it's one of those very, throughout the day, starting at the day, it's one of those very delicate things where I stick a lot to just spitting history because I know there are things I don't know. There are experiences that I haven't had as an American because I'm melanin deficient. I've been very close to people. A lot of the people I love, aren't fucking white. And just riding shotgun in their lives has been horrifying enough, but it's not my life, Shotgun, riding shotgun in somebody's life. Yeah, I like that. Riding shotgun in somebody's life and seeing that they get twice the strife. As kids, they teach us wrong from right. They teach us wrong from right. Okay, well, there's an obvious fucking rhyme. And it kind of, I don't know, like I could look at it as if I'm doing, it's this piece, whatever it is already doing its job. It's already making me uncomfortable, making me think about things, but you can have stupid tone deaf art. You're sweet. No, it's always an open session of I am intrigued. It hasn't happened much yet, and but I don't know. This is part of the boundary pushing of let's make the topics more and more sensitive. So where if you were wanting to throw down where to relate on this is when racism is real in America, you see it happen to people you love, but you're exempt. You experience it the opposite way. Oh God, doesn't it fucking suck? I've been thinking a lot about today about how once you discover your privilege, it's your duty to destroy it. Once you see that you are getting an unfair shake in society, if you really believe in an equitable society, it's your job to destroy your own privilege. So I'm glad that it's getting more private, right? Like you have that feel that it's like internal me because yeah, it's important to me, but no, that's where I would open it up to the floor of how does that feel for you? You know. So where did we wind up? Because that was starting to flow like a chorus. Riding shotgun in somebody's life and seeing that they get twice the strife as kids they teach us wrong from right. So the obvious rhyme that goes there. It's something black and white. Maybe that's as simple as it. Maybe those are semiotically, neurolinguistic programmingly. Speaking of, there are a bunch of words about race that we've been programmed as Americans to have reactions to. It's part of what keeps us divided, because if there's this illusory concept of race, then we're different. There's a reason to mistrust the otherness of somebody's appearance. So I think that's a lyric. Talking too much. I said I wasn't going to get neurotic. Chill the fuck out, Neek. That's what I'm avoiding in that phrase. But I think that it might tip at what I'm asking it to tip at without being too obvious when I say as obvious as black and white. And I hear something in my head now, which is a lot how songwriting works. And it makes me excited because I know it's a chorus. And when I hear the chorus in my head before anything happens, it's generally pretty promising for me as a chorus, because choruses are those things that you want to shout from your very heart. So this ain't right. That's what I want to shout from my heart today. This ain't right. And I'm going to take a moment, because that's the main trick that's a balance about this show, is that what makes this a weird show is if you write songs, you might know that you get those songs that it's like a flash of inspiration and the whole song appears in your head in about 10 minutes, you know, pretty much the time it takes to play it for the first time. But you also know that it's not always like that. In fact, it's frequently not like that. In fact, the rule is it's not supposed to be that easy for some reason. And part of what I'm destroying for myself is destroying that thing in my head that says, oh no, songwriting's hard. But what's weird is that there would normally be a lot more space in the process if I were just doing it naturally according to my own rhythms. So, reading back what we got here, it might be a good time to... Yeah, okay, so intuitively, I feel like my rule of if you get to the chorus, you got about half the song done. Let's flesh that out with music at this point. Just because that's a fine way to take space for yourself. You know, friendly tips, passing along seeds. Hi, Julie. How are you? And David, nice to have you with us. All right, so we're writing a song about... we haven't gotten to a summary yet, but yes, again, it's another song about Black Lives Matter. Surprise! Okay. So I have some lyrics. I'll just read them out so I can hear where I am. Sometimes I'm afraid I have no voice. It's true, and I write it down to scare myself, to see what I can do, to shake myself from who I am, the experiences I never had, my references for good and bad, riding shotgun in somebody's life and seeing that they get twice the strife. As kids, they teach us wrong from right, as obvious as black and white, and this ain't right. So that's where we're at so far. Hey, Big Mike, I miss you. I really miss you. It'd be so nice to come see you someday again soon. All right. Oh, gosh, it's so nice to have you all here. No, so I'm just gonna toy at this for a second. We've got up to a chorus's worth of lyrics, and now I'm just going to... So I might need to give myself permission to just be corny as hell, because how many minutes do we have to go? We have 33 minutes to go, and I hear the song in my head, and I might have watched Eurovision with Will Ferrell like twice this week, and now I have all these very, cliche Euro trash pieces in my head, and also the very, very beautiful ballad that they do at the end of the film. That might be in my head, but so I hear how this goes, and automatically dismissively my editor turns on, well, that's corny, you know. So I'm just gonna lean into the corny, permission to give myself the corniness. So all right, and now I hear it in my head, so I'm doing that thing where I'm pulling out the song DNA of... What's the scale? It's in B. Okay, it's cool. It's in B. Now, what's the relative minor of B? Relative minor of B is G minor, G sharp minor. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of corny pop divanness I want on this track right now. Okay, so we go B, G sharp minor to the E flat sus. No third, please. Thank you. Back to the B, and that's our first phrase. And doesn't that sound just gooey and lovely? Ooh, and that's an Maj 7. Cool. We got our first bit of DNA, and so how I hear that fitting in my head to the lyrics that we got is, and I'm afraid I have no voice. It's true. And I write it down to scare me. Tell myself I can do, I can do, I can do. Do I want to go that obvious? But I can do. Well, that's interesting. I like that. So I might just start a new page for the music. But I can't because then I won't be able to play it back at the end of the show. Okay, so repeat through there, except go to E major. I don't know why that works, but I like it. I'm probably just doing something with an E flat root, and that's not actually E flat sus. So I think those are some delightfully Eurotrash lyrics, don't you? Okay, so, but that's a verse, and that's taking up more than enough time of verse. We need to move it along. The next bit is a pre-chorus, like I thought. No, I don't want to be too nice to everybody. I hear the chorus because it goes from that G minor to the B type thing, and the lyrics in my head are something like, this ain't right, this ain't right. In our bones. Lost it. Okay, you gotta let yourself go sometimes. But what did I do with that pre-chorus? Goes to that E flat. To that B flat B major feel too quickly. So we got G minor to B to E major, back to B, and then it's going to circle around back to G sharp minor to B to F sharp major to E, just straight E. So that's working pretty good for me so far, but I'm still avoiding, so I'm a little worried that it's not going to fit the pre-chorus as much as I feel like, oh, well, that's the vibe. And I don't want to rewrite the pre-chorus with less than 30 minutes to go on the timer. Okay. I am mosquito bite. I have one right here. I have like 4 right here. I am 1 mosquito bite right now. Okay. in our bones we know and in our soul. It's dumb, but that's the point of writing this song. Y'all know I have other songs out there, right, that I've actually spent time thinking about, and whatever happens on this show is just kind of a complete fluke of nature. All right, moving on. In our bones, in our souls, we know this ain't right. Wow. Okay, I'm going to take this little bitty moment to just play through it, maybe hum through it, and appreciate. Well, that is exactly the freaking vibe that I was going for without knowing that I wanted to go for it. So this is why everybody should be a songwriter. Therapy is expensive, but songwriting is free and can potentially earn money. Okay. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna alter that chorus. This ain't right. I think I might just stagger it. This ain't right. Okay, so now I have to do that thing where it gets more obvious to me what I've just done. And that's that G minor through F through E flat walk down. This is gonna make no sense to me later when I read it back. All right. I just feel like sharing with you all that memory that flipped through my head of being in a Denver Musicians Union rehearsal space, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, hearing the theme song from Monty Python's Flying Circus break out in a full brass band. Video phones weren't what they were in those days, otherwise that memory would never die. Okay. Back to this memory that we're making right now. Sometimes I feel I don't have a voice, and I write it down to scare me, to shake myself from who I am. Experience I never had, my differences for good and bad. Writing shotgun in some, no shotgun in someone's life. Why do they get all straight? It's obvious as black and white. This ain't right. This ain't right. Our bones and our souls, we know. This ain't right. This is where it gets a little annoying, because that's like, well, where's the rest of the song, right? First of all, I just changed everything, but I don't know if I'd mind. So I sometimes think of songwriting like putting a stone through a rock tumbler. You just roll it through and roll it through and roll it through, and by the end you get something that has the sharp edges worn off. So let's roll it through again. Like that 1 to 6 intro. Sometimes I feel I don't have a voice, and I write it down just to scare me. See what I can do to shake myself from who I am. Experience I never had. My references for good and bad. This ain't right. Our bones and our souls we know. I believe that. And there's nowhere but better to go. Like, that's part of why I find writing protest songs really hard, is because we have a lot to lose as a culture, as a society, as a set of laws and legislation, and that's what kills me. Is that we're what we were for a hot minute, the leader in civil rights, and now it's just like, what? That's me banging it against the wall. Let's do it again. Let's roll it through the hopper one more time. How many minutes we had to go? Give myself a couple extra because we took a couple minutes to get started, but basically 20 minutes to go, and we could do this. We can pull this out of nowhere. Let's try it. Okay. Sometimes I feel I am, sometimes I'm afraid that I don't have a voice. It's true, and I write it down to scare me, see what I can do. Alright, so that flows. So my initial rewrite doesn't quite fit. Sometimes I'm afraid that I don't have a voice, and that voice, it's true. But those little sides kind of really helpful. It's true, and I write it down to see what I can do. Cool, so let's take out some words. So that's kind of vibey. That's kind of vibier than, in a way that I'm actually gelling with and ridiculing less. Sometimes I'm afraid that I don't have a voice. It's true, and I write it down to see what I will do. Shake myself from who I am, experience I never had, references for good and bad. Writing shotgun in somebody's life, wondering why do they get just this way? No, that's more of the question, is that's rejecting my own experience, is wondering why do I get half, if not even half, shit that people who aren't white in my life get. Why not even half? And why do I get half the strife? Half the strife. So I'm attached to that now. I don't know if it fits, but we're going to jam it into a square hole. If it doesn't, mosquito bites. Okay. Riding shotgun in somebody's life. Ask myself, why do I get just half this right? Ask kids that teach us wrong from right, as obvious as black and white. And this ain't right in our bones, in our souls, we know. This ain't right, this ain't right, and I will lie. And so there's something there. I'm almost there, but now I at least. I don't know, like my writer's block is hitting hard. My inner editor is just railing on this song right now, being like, but that's why I like this program. It makes me push through that part. This ain't right, this ain't right. In our bowls, in our souls, we know this ain't right. Then again, if I'm already thinking that this is already a throwaway song, that's kind of liberating, isn't it? Right? When you decide that something ain't gonna be nothing. So that's what I'm debating on with, and feel free to chime. Is this ain't right. This ain't right. I will fight to see. I don't want to say we will fight because there's already too much blood in the water as far as trying to use protests with violence, either from counter-protesters or from minority of the protesters turning into violence. It's getting used to like invalidate whole protests. So I want to stay very far away from that language, and this is why protest songs are hard. Okay. So this is a fun experiment as an artist. If you do anything like this and you come across this footage and you see me struggling, I can't recommend it enough but for you to try it yourself. It's a really, really great exercise, and you want to be entertaining, right? That's what we are. We're entertainers. If there's a camera on you, you got to be doing something interesting all the time. In theory, I end up watching these shows back and be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I saw that thought happen, but I get nervous when I'm at so nervous I can't operate a lighter. I would die without a lighter, but I am that nervous quietly. Anyhow, I could do the Churchill trick with this and just have y'all check how long it's gonna ash. Stick a pin down the middle. Anyhow, Colorado spliff making. Okay. Shake myself from who I am is. Okay, so I'm wanting to get hung up on the second half of the chorus. But I think instead I'm just going to go back and be like, okay, so stream of consciousness, day to second verse, our day to day. So writing second verses is infinitely easier to me once you have a melody for your first verse. Our day to day is so very nice. We go to work and we come home and don't think twice. Go to... So very nice. It's true. We go to work and come back home and don't think twice. And I check to see if it's matching with my first verse and don't think twice. So I'm trying to formulate a second half of that verse that's about the experience of driving while black. Because that's hard to articulate if you don't know somebody or haven't been with somebody while they were driving while black. To know that, oh wow, this is just bizarre if you're white and you don't have that as part of your experience of this is dystopian. And this has been our entire freaking American history. So I think I'm going to save that. So I think the second verse, to shake myself from who I am, the experiences I never had, that summarizes a lot about how I'm feeling. So maybe I try to write a second verse to sort of roll it through the tumbler again. And roll it through the tumbler and see what comes out. If we stop broadcasting. We're still broadcasting. It just glitched. I hope that the service is going all. Y'all have a really lovely still frame of me with like a giant spliff hanging out my mouth right now. Oh well. Who knows if this is still going live to anywhere, if it all just cut there. Anyhow. I'm nervous now. There's not that much point in me doing this to myself because that's the point, is I do this to myself anyhow. Okay. A day to day is so very nice. We go to work and we come home and don't think twice. And to save myself from who I am, experience I never had, moments for good, good and bad. Okay, but so I'm also running out of time, but this came to me. But riding shotgun in your life, it cut me harder than a motherfucking knife. It just fits so nicely. Knife. And I was just there beside you. Just there beside you. You do so something about this is every single day of your life. But this is every day for you. This is not that was, this is every day for you. Well, shoot. All right, cool. So that is the entire song. That's 2 verses, 2 pre-choruses, and a chorus. And now we need the bridge. And what popped in my head is once you see it, you must defeat it. Because I was spitballing earlier on how do you once you notice that you're benefiting from unfair privilege, well, what's your job? It's to destroy it. So once you see it, you must defeat it. I don't know. Once it's, I'm going between feed it, beat it. Once you see it, you must defeat it. And now I'm see the hate, then just don't feed it. I like that. That's kind of like the white and black wolf metaphor of which wolf are you going to feed, although that's neurolinguistically fucked, right? Okay, don't feed it. Okay, so if I can get through this all, and I probably won't, and I'm probably going to try to turn around the final quicker than, last week's, which hasn't been turned around yet. We'll get to it. It's complicated. This will be the 9th song in the 1 Hour 1 New Song series. I want you to sing Treat. How much to get to? Oh, wait, no. Sorry. This is an old comment. Will you still rock? Can I just get a t-shirt? You're a fucking beast, so fluff away. I really need that on a t-shirt now, buddy. Thank you. Okay, so what time is it? Wow, that was like the most leisurely, calm, freak out free 1 Hour 1 New Song so far. Although I bet that this run through is going to be pretty rough. Did I ever finish that chorus? Yeah, I kind of did. I thought I was going to write more words to it, but I think I'm just going to drop it on a rhythmic hook. Okay, here we go. This is going to be this funny back and forth using this teeny tiny notebook. Okay, what's this called? This ain't right. Black Lives Matter. Okay, here we go. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a voice. It's true, and I write it down to see what I will do. To shake myself from who I am. Experience I never had. My references for good and bad. Writing shotgun in somebody's life. Ask myself, why do I get just half a stripe? As kids they teach us wrong from right. As obvious as black and white. This ain't right. This ain't right. In our bones, in ourselves, we know. This ain't right. This ain't right. Our days are so very nice. It's true, we go to work and we come home and don't think twice. Shake yourself from who you are. The experience you never had. Your references for good and bad. The writing shotgun in your life. You cut me harder than a motherfucking knife. I was just there beside you, but this is every fucking day for you. This ain't right, this ain't right. In our souls, in our bones, we know. This ain't right, this ain't right. It's a weird mixed feeling to be pleased that the song came out and then to remember what the song is about. So this has been 1 Hour, 1 Week Song, 1 New Song, Week 9. Thank you all so much for joining me. I love each of you very much. Bye. Bye. See you later. Bye. I mean it. Go home. Go home. Stay home, actually. Don't get sick. Bye.